One of the great things about coming to Transylvania, I've thought, was about finding that Transylvania is a great big market garden, which is something which is very unusual for a lot of European countries. It's rich in beautiful organic ingredients, something that people in the United Kingdom go crazy for. And another thing that I've always really liked about Transylvania is the technique and their traditional methods. They pickle, they preserve, they cure, and they smoke. Something, again, that's very popular now in the United Kingdom, which is becoming very trendy and very fashionable. It's when I was looking for recipes for the book, we came across a lady near Torda who was a smallholder, and she kept sheep, and she taught me this method of cooking that is something which must be a traditional technique in Transylvania, which is the reason the dish works so well. And for that, it's lamb which is slow cooked for 4 hours in a tight-fitting pot. Now, it can be any pot at all; it doesn't matter. But the important things are, it should be quite a heavy pot, and it should have a lid that fits into a rim, because we're going to make a seal to basically pressure cook the lamb by making it so, because it's very tightly fitting. So we take our heavy pot and we take our ingredients, which is going to be a rough cut of lamb. It can be any type of cut of lamb. It can be shoulder, neck, a cheap cut like breast. Fit it in nice and tightly. And then we are going to put in some onion. We're going to put in about 10 onions, which I have thinly sliced. Red onions are best. Torda onion, indeed, absolutely, the best onions. So we're going to take some sliced onion here, which I've cut into a very thin slice. And I'm going to put that over the lamb. Now, it's a lot of onion, but it's going to be very cooked. It's going to be slow cooked for a very long time. Now, one of the great things about Transylvania, which you would miss in the United Kingdom, is the flavour of natural ingredients, like simple things like onions and peppers, because they are so much better quality than you would get anywhere else in Europe. And on top of that, I'm going to put in some cannellini bean. Again, something very sort of prolific to the region, to the area. You see them in all the stores. I've soaked them overnight in water. They're very important because it'll spoil the dish. The more you soak them, the more they become absorbent, and the more they'll absorb the flavour of the lamb over the 4 hours that we're going to cook it. So mix that through the onion. Like so. And I'm also going to put the cooking water, or the soaking water of the beans into the dish. And that's about as much liquid as I'm going to put in, because it's so tightly packed we won't need much liquid at all. On top of that, I'm going to use something quite simple, again, supermarket ingredient this time, pickled peppers, endemic to the region, but it's the important thing about using pickled peppers is it is a vinegared product, so it's a preserved product, and it will break down the fat of the lamb and balance the flavour of the dish. So I have some peppers here. I'm going to put in 6 or 7 broken peppers. You don't need a lot. And on top of that, we're going to use a very important Transylvanian ingredient. So we're going to use paprika, smoked paprika, which we're going to scatter all over the dish. And we're going to put in peppercorn, whole peppercorn, not ground, but whole peppercorn, about a tablespoon of ground pepper, of whole peppercorns. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put in garlic. Best way to open garlic is just bash it. And it doesn't need to be chopped up very finely, it just needs to be broken, and we're going to put that into the dish. We're going to put in 6 cloves of garlic. So we're going to take some flour, There we are. We're going to take a little bit of water, and we're going to make a thick paste. So we have our paste. And what we do now is you make a seal around the side here. And that's why the lid has to fit into the rim. So we're going to put that there, and then we're going to glue it back on top as well. And I'm going to put this into an oven which is 165 degrees, and I'm going to cook it for 4 hours. And we're going to carefully take it out of this oven. So what you can see is the flour, or the dough, or the flour base has made a very, very tight seal. I can just smell how delicious that lamb is now already. And we're going to break the seal, which you'll have to break by putting a knife around it. We're going to take the lid off, and as you can see, we have delicious lamb. So we're going to put some of it onto a plate. Nice big piece there. And we're going to spoon over the beans and some lovely liquor. And that is a dish worth eating. Mm-hmm.